living on wild and free.
When Earth's northern axis falls away from the sun and daylight diminishes in the winter months, the polar cap stretches its icy reach to the treeless Arctic. Advancing slowly over the land, it reaches the home of the resilient Inuit, the steadfast people of the Great White North, who have long thrived where few have had the heart to endure the land. The cold pushes past the vast taiga, an endless mosaic of conifers, some barely waist high yet decades old, their growth stunted by the fleeting growing season. Further south, the chill drafts into the prairie, where the land bears a scar from agriculture so immense it's visible from space. Snow sweeps across the open expanse, whirling unimpeded, turning the horizon into a monochrome vastness where the wind howls and there is little reprieve from the cold, yet still life prevails. Winter's reach is persistent, creeping steadily southward. It spills along the mist-laden western coast of North America, where rain seems eternal, and the damp cold penetrates to the bone. As the season deepens, the cold presses further, reaching towards the equator, brushing against the tip of the Baja California, where the ancient gray whales that just a few months prior feasted on amphipods in the Arctic Ocean, and then embarked on a journey over 10,000 miles to escape the cold. Yet even in distant waters, they cannot outrun winter's touch. Winter makes itself known even in the warm waters of the Sea of Cortez. A fundamental truth of life is that discomfort brings change. It is through challenge that we grow, and winter, with its unrelenting cold and formidable presence, is abundant with lessons. This is an ode to winter, for there is beauty in its savagery. My affinity for winter grew through camping in the Boundary Waters canoe area, a vast wilderness spanning over 1 million acres, set aside by the U.S. government to preserve one of the last remaining wild landscapes in the continental United States. This rugged expanse straddles the Ontario-Minnesota border. It is a land of stone and water, its terrain sculpted by glaciers over 10,000 years ago, leaving behind a labyrinth of interconnected lakes. Among this endless stretch of water, a diverse forest stands, towering red pines, various spruce species, and the humble balsam fir, its growth often stunted by the shade casted down by the towering pines. Deciduous trees struggle to take root here. Yet, in certain favorable grounds, aspens, birches, and my favorite, the ash, find foothold. Ash has been my companion through countless frigid nights, offering heat and, in turn, life. This is winter's first lesson. Warmth is a gift never to be taken for granted. The cold has a way of seeping into the bones, of pressing against the body with unforgiving weight, and in those moments, fire becomes more than a source of heat. It is survival, a beacon in the darkness. The quality of wood makes all the difference. Good wood, wood that burns clean and hot, is essential. Unlike the smoldering frustration of wet birch, which hisses and smokes with a reluctant flame, the steady, persistent heat of ash keeps hypothermia at bay. It is easy to forget how fragile life truly is when immersed in the day-to-day conveniences of modern society. Grocery stores ensure food is always within reach, furnaces keep homes warm with the flip of a switch, and the endless distractions like YouTube fill idle moments, shielding us from discomfort. These comforts lull us into a false sense of security, making it easy to believe that we have tamed the elements, that we are somehow separated from nature's influence. Stepping away from society and its chains of conformity is essential to me. To break free from routine, challenge my own limits, and find humility in nature's majestic savagery. There's no better teacher of life's finalities than winter camping, where survival hinges on preparation, resilience, and, above all, a respect for the elements. The cold is an unforgiving force, stripping away all distractions and demanding full presence in each moment. I first experienced winter camping in the Boundary Waters. With motorized vehicles prohibited, we traveled as people had for centuries, by foot. We hiked for miles across frozen lakes and through snow-laden portages. Behind us, our toboggans dug into the fresh snow, laden with camping and fishing gear. Every step, a test of endurance. Before each journey, we went over our supplies with great scrutiny. Every ounce of food, every piece of equipment was carefully considered. Only the necessary remained, while luxuries were left behind. When every pound mattered, even a tent became an extravagance. Instead, we wrapped our loads in tarps, and before night fell, those same tarps became our shelter, stretched and tied against the wind's relentless assault. There was little reprieve from the elements, and in that harsh exposure, even the smallest comforts took on a profound significance. Few sights in the world compare to the beauty of a winter sunrise after a night laying on the ground fighting off the chills. The air, stripped of all moisture, leaves the land blanketed in frost. Ice crystals cling to every surface, bending the sun's rays into a shimmering spectrum of color. The ground, a vast white expanse, reflects most of the sun's energy, but even through layers of wool and down, the sun's energy can be felt. In summer, the sun is overbearing, but in winter, it is precious. Then there are the days where the wind rules the land, howling across the frozen lakes, lifting snow high into the air until the world is nothing but a swirling white. The sun is veiled behind the storm, its light diffused into an eerie glow. On such days, the best place is near the fire, hands wrapped around a warm mug, swapping stories or mulling over strategies to catch the elusive 30-inch walleye. In the quiet moments between conversations, I watch the storm rage across the lake, the drifts rising and falling like frozen dunes. I look down at the fire burning hot and steady, and then beyond to the conifers surrounding camp, their branches bending and creaking under the force of the wind. They sway back and forth, absorbing the storm's energy, gracing our camp with a reprieve from the chaos surrounding us. As I watch the trees sway in their steady, rhythmic dance, something deep within me shifts. For a moment, I lost my sense of self and gained something far greater, a quiet understanding, a recognition of truth too often ignored. Society, with all of its comforts and technological triumphs, has lulled me into believing that man is the master of nature, that we stand apart from it. But here, in the unforgiving grasp of winter, that illusion crumbles. We are not separate. We are not superior. We are but a minuscule part of a vast and intricate whole. In the wild, the raven is wiser, the mink more tenacious, the ash more resilient, the wind far stronger than any force we command. Nature does not bend to our will. It endures, it adapts, it thrives. And with this shift in perspective, we are no longer the conqueror, but the student, humbled before the wisdom of the fittest. To survive here is not to impose our will, but to observe, to listen, and to learn from the powers greater than man. Hey, thanks for listening to my short story. I really enjoyed creating this, and if you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to hit the like button. If you're interested in joining me on a winter camping adventure, check out this video of my solo winter camping trip, a 100-mile snowmobile journey over 6 days completely on my own. The highlight of the trip? Capturing footage of a wolverine in the wild.